welcome to my bathroom. Today we're going to be talking about relationship goals and why I hate them. I wouldn't say I hate relationship goals necessarily. I just hate what society deems as relationship goals. It's toxic. I find it very unhealthy and unreasonable. And these relationship goals fall under 3 categories. The first category is comparison. The quickest way for you to be unhappy is for you to compare your life to another person. And here's what I mean. So the first category is comparison, right? We're fed these seeds that say that we have to be as beautiful and attractive as Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa. That we have to be as business savvy as Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or that we have to be as popular and well-liked as Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. You start to compare and you wonder, why aren't we as in shape and attractive as this celeb and this influencer? And you can't really do that. It's not really fair because A, you don't even know what type of relationship they have behind closed doors. Like, I'm pretty sure they fight like every other couple. And, you don't know what relationship they have when no one else is looking. And B, they're paid to be influencers, to be celebrities. Jason Momoa, he is handsome. He's paid to be handsome. He's Aquaman. He's paid to be in shape. They're in the show biz. Okay, they're in the show business, and people in show business have to look attractive for their movie to sell. And when we internalize how our lives look like in comparison to other people, you're ultimately not going to be happy. The second thing that relationship goals does is it is very immature. I think it's stupid what people are doing now these days. They have all of these couple challenges where a guy is like holding his girlfriend over a cliff. Hashtag relationship goals. Like, that was dumb. The more I'm watching, these pictures and these videos on all of the social media, like websites, I'm just realizing that all of these are fluff. Like, none of this is even essential. None of these are important. The things that you're saying are relationship goals are not important for a relationship. It's not needed. You don't need it. You may want it, but I don't understand why. Like, why would I want my man to be able to carry me off a cliff when I know my behind is not going anywhere near a cliff? Come on now. And the third category relationship goals fall under is unrealistic expectations. Honestly, like, men and women are both responsible for this, but honestly, we have men who literally want the female version of themselves. They do. They want a woman who has the heart of Mother Teresa with a stripper body that can cook, clean, and play Call of Duty with them. That's what they want. They want a girl who's a natural beauty, who wakes up beautiful, looking gorgeous with no makeup, not looking good at all times. And then you have a woman who want a man who is emotionally in tuned to her emotions, and he knows himself, and he knows what she's thinking, and he knows why she's upset and why she's angry before she even communicates it, but yet he's strong and stoic and enticing and mysterious. You want a vampire. You want a Fabio, a made-up character that you read in books. You want the male version of yourself. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with girls being tomboys. There's plenty of girls that love video games and who are tomboys, and there's plenty of men who are emotionally intelligent. However, you have to keep in mind that, like, men and women are different, and we have different interests for the majority of us. So if a girl is not interested in playing video games, as what's to be expected, If a guy doesn't really want to watch The Notebook, that's kind of what's to be expected. I'm not saying that they don't like it and they might not enjoy it, but that's to be expected if they're not interested in the things that you're interested in. The whole point of relationship goals is not to find the female or male version of yourself. It's to find a different person who has different interests and goals. And I wrote down the things that I view as a relationship goal. Let me read them to you. A, I want a person who's patient. And I got my inspiration for this by my favorite Bible scripture. It is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. And it says, love is patient. I want a person who's patient. I'm not going to always have the right answer. I'm not always going to get everything go right the first time. I'm not always going to make the right decisions. So I need someone who's going to be patient and who's not going to be hard on me each and every time I don't, get it right. I need someone who's going to hold my hand and walk me through this partnership. This is a partnership. This is like a company, how you run a company. And we need to be able to encourage each other even when we make not the greatest, decisions. And even when we make mistakes, we're there for each other. So that's my couple goal. I want him to be patient. And it says, love is kind. Yes. I think we all want a kind person. I think we all want a partner who's kind. However, we don't prioritize that first. Everyone always says, they can be nice and a great guy, or she can be a nice girl, but I have to be attracted to her. I get it. However, it's so funny how we prioritize the things that we can see versus the things that we can't see. And let me tell you, I want a marriage that's going to last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years. There's so much that attraction can do for your relationship. Like physical attraction can only take you but so far. And in order for that longevity in your relationship, you're gonna need something solid than how a person looks. You're gonna need someone who's kind through the ups and through the downs, through the peaks and through the valleys. With them all in this book. Another one, love is not prideful. There's nothing more disgusting for me than someone who's prideful. I cannot stand someone who thinks so highly of themselves. It's like it's always about them. They're always right. My mom always told me, don't ever marry Mr. Right, because he's always going to be right. I don't believe in the wife is always right, or happy wife, happy life. No, happy partnership equals a happy marriage. I can't stand people that always feel the need to have the last word, or always feel the need to always be right and to argue their point. I think for me, the most sexiest quality about a person is their humility. Humility is key. I also said that love is not self-centered. Have you noticed that most of these relationship goals are very selfish and very self-centered? It's always about what my partner can do for me. My partner is like 6 feet tall, and I want him to be able to carry me, that my legs dangle, and I want him to be able just to lift me up. And like my partner is skinny, is in shape, and she caters to my every need, and she's so nurturing. It's always what my person can do for me. It's never what I can do for the other person. Oh, I'm telling you, all these relationship goals are selfish and self-centered. No one ever wants to be the person to be the unselfish one. No one ever wants to be the person to be selfless and to, put in that work and to sacrifice your time and your energy. No one ever wants to be that person who wants to encourage another person and to serve and to honor and to respect, your partner. People nowadays who want to be catered to, they never want to give it back. And so when you have an unselfish, selfless love, that is a couple's goals, because you're always going to be pouring into each other, and that's going to lift you up, and that's going to, you know, boost you guys for years and years to come. I said love's not rude. Yeah. Even when you're tired, even when you're not feeling well, even when you had a bad day at work, there's no reason to call someone out your name. There's no reason to have an attitude. I don't care if you're not having the best day. If you're not having the best day, probably you should talk to your partner about that. You know, talk to Jesus about that. You know, or take a walk and get some air. But it's never an excuse to be rude or to lash out because you're not feeling well. So even if you don't feel like it, you're supposed to act kind. You're supposed to act loving towards your significant other. Couples goal, right? Love is not easily provoked. You're not easily irritated. I'm tired of, you know, like, you should have known what I'm thinking. It's like, no one can read your mind. If you want to tell someone how this event made you feel, communicate. Love is not easily irritated. Even when you don't feel like loving your partner, you love them anyways, because it's not dependent on your feelings. It's dependent because you made a commitment to be committed to them. And then the scripture goes on to say that love does not rejoice in lies, but in truth. It bears all things, believes all things, it hopes all things. Love endures. And guess what? I haven't even gone to personality and physical attraction. I'm not even there yet. And that lets you know that, like, in my generation, and I'm a millennial, if you didn't know, I'm a millennial. And in our generation, we tend to value looks, personality, than character, when really that should be reversed. What's going to carry you on for years to come is the fact that you look at a person's character. And nowadays, it's all about how a relationship looks rather than the relationship itself. It's all about what looks pretty. That's what I think. Just had to get that off my chest. That's my whole spiel. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this quote unquote couples goals? Alright, you guys, that's all for today. I'll see you guys next Friday, and